Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to Star Trek Lexington Last of the Line. You may notice that our cast is on the short side tonight, but you know what? We're pressing on ahead just because we can, and it's going to be a hell of a lot of fun what we have planned. So say hi, Fish.
Hello. Or wait.
All right. Yep. Great start. Great
Water
start.
noises. I can do better. There we go.
Good enough. All right. So, considering that we have one player, we're going to do another side story, for lack of a better way to describe it. And after discussing, Pointless and I have decided that we're going to do a story from Fish Soong's time in the academy. Exactly how this is going to unfold, I have no idea. He doesn't really know either, although he may have some ideas swirling in his devious little head of his. But we'll get to those one at a time. So, I don't think there's really anything else to go into. Let's just start this spectacle going. So, all right, so we're gonna set this up. So let's step to the Lexington real quick. It's on its long journey back from Gehenna with its Denzite in tow. All is well. There's the potential that we're about to be intercepted by some Lestran ships, but that hasn't happened quite yet. But so Fish is in his normal office hours. He's examining Dottrone, the checkup to make sure the lungs are still working. So in the middle of this, Dottrone goes, my dear doctor, I've been curious about something. Now, I've been, of course, we're trying to learn as much as we can about your federation as we petition to join it, assuming we do get back to our galaxy. So I was wondering if you could tell me a bit about what it's like at Starfleet Academy and what your experience there was like.
Ah, yes, the classic days. Back in my rebellious phase when I was a lot more wild than I was now. I've really mellowed out since those days though. But they were good nonetheless.
Do you have any interesting stories you can share from that time to help illustrate to me what it was like?
Wow, you actually want me to talk about myself? That's the last thing people usually want to hear.
Oh, my dear doctor, I find you to be an utterly fascinating specimen, so please regale me.
I suppose we should start the story where any story really should begin. with a young man dragging a corpse out of the Academy medbay.
And that's when there's like the fading effect. And there we are, step back like what, 7 years, something like that.
However
Not
many, yeah.
even. So yeah,
Well,
so
based off of we already established there's some sort of temporal paradox with our characters' ages and lining up. I would,
something like that. So according to your sheet, yeah, that it would have been about 7 years ago, actually. Yeah, so you'd have been a nice, a young 21-year-old fresh-faced fish soon.
hmm. So it just starts off like,
Now, is this corpse in a bag or just a straight
yeah,
corpse?
it's like in one of those like those the disposal bags, the black ones with the zipper on
Yes,
it.
yes.
So he's just like dragging. It's like, man, I really should have gotten something more efficient for this. Yeah, oh well. Just gonna bring this back under the cover of darkness, so no one can find it.
All right, so give me the setting here. So you are
So he's like dragging it down the hallway, or
in
like at night.
where are you? Like,
On the way back to my bunks,
what
or
building are
wherever
you
my
in?
room would be,
So you're in the
having
dormitory
left.
area right now.
Yeah, having left the med bay for like.
So you have dragged this thing across campus without anyone seeing you in the cover of darkness. Sure, I'll give you that.
And then that's where the story starts.
So you drag to the middle of the hallway. Okay. Um. So one of the doors is going to open, and out is going to step a Andorian woman eating a bowl of cereal, and she's going to stop and freeze, look at you, look down at the bag, look at you.
Hello.
Nope. Turn around, close the door. From the other side of the door, you hear it mutter, "I'm not getting involved with this. I'm not getting involved with this. I'm not getting involved with this."
Well, back to what I was doing. I just kind of like, yeah, just keep going down the hallway. Do I have question? Do I have any roommates, or is it like a one room thing, or is this like I'm
No, you
bunking with people?
definitely have a roommate.
Okay, so I'm just gonna like, so I'm gonna like, is there any way to like, you know how the doors open automatically? Is there any way I can make it so that it doesn't like wake them up, or is it quiet? Like, how does that work? Those doors.
Um, they can be set to where it recognizes your biosignature and will open for you. Like if you like, uh, sure, there's a pad by the door that you can like touch and it'll open for you.
Yeah, but does it make noise, or like can I like?
No, it'll make the door noise, but like unless you like hail the door like the doorbell, like they do in
Oh,
Star
okay,
Trek. So yeah, it can open without a chime noise,
perfect.
but it'll have door noise.
Okay, so I'll just open it quietly and
Okay.
look inside.
Uh,
See how my roommate's doing.
your roommate in there is a, let's see. Let me think. How can I make this interesting? A Vulcan be too easy. Uh, let's see. You know what? We haven't done a Tellarite. Let's do a Tellarite. So your roommate is a 5'2" Tellarite male. Little on the portly side, but a lot of Tellarites are. He's known for being all Tellarites have a bad temper if you push them hard enough. Um,
Mm.
but in general, he's nice enough to get along with. Although on occasion he gets tired of your shit.
Ah, yes.
Who doesn't?
Mm. So I'm going to. It's like, man, this is heavy.
But he's
Hmm.
asleep right now.
Yes. Where should I store this? And I look. So, question: is it how are the beds arranged? Like, what's the
It
setup? Is it
is
like bunk beds, single?
no, actually, it's two separate beds with space
Okay.
between them.
Mm. I'm just like, I need a good place to store this, and if they come looking for me, I don't want them to start looking through my stuff and find it. Idea. I'm gonna quietly drag it towards his closet,
Okay.
and I'm gonna just like prop it up and then shut the door. Like, ah, yes, they'll never find it in here. Well, time to go to bed. I'll work on it tomorrow when I have more time. So I'm just gonna go over. I'm gonna hit the hay, go to sleep for the night.
Okay, you're gonna be woken up at about 5 a.m. by what the hell?
Uh, uh, Why are you yelling? It's what? And I look. It's early. It's so early in the morning. Go back to sleep. Oh my gosh.
Fish! Why is there a
Mm,
corpse in my closet?
I don't know. Maybe some genius put it there, thinking it would be a good idea. Go back to sleep. Ugh, you're gonna wake everybody up.
You know that I go for a jog at 5 and I try to let you sleep, but when I'm trying to get my joggers out of here and I see, hey, what's this suspicious bag in the corner? It's a dead body. Oh, you know I have to report this.
It's
I'm not getting
preserved.
kicked out for you. I'm not
It's
getting
not
kicked
a
out for you.
dead body. It's a resource for scientific discovery,
That
according to
happens
the
to be a
novel.
dead body.
Potato, potato. It's basically the same thing. Very different.
Oh, there's gonna be inquiries on this one. God. Oh.
Well, you see, I was kind of about done with my genetically modified rat puppets, and I thought, hey, uh, yes, it's classic. I would 3D print some rats, and then I would install cybernetics in them to basically make rat puppets, cybernetic rat puppets. And I basically finished up the first 20 of those, and well, I kind of got bored of just using rats, so I said, hey, I feel like it's time to finally start moving on to proper cadavers. They keep telling me I have to be, they're too expensive or I need to wait. But I mean, I obviously have the skill to reach the next level of using biomechanical engineering on people, and they just won't let me yet. So I decided to, well, take some extracurricular courses, if you would say.
This is a question I never thought I'd have to ask. Where did you get the body?
Well, from the academy, as obviously.
Did you kill someone?
No, of course not. I'm a man of medical science. I would never hurt anybody.
Okay, I guess I'd ask, who is this? Who?
Uh, the tag says body number 13.
There's 12 more?
Well, I mean, obviously we got them from the medical students have to use the cadavers to, experiment, so obviously they have more than one.
So this is someone who donated their body to science, right?
Yes, obvious. Yes,
Okay,
yes.
you could have just said that.
Well, I kind of did. You
No,
just didn't pick up on it fast enough. I mean,
no,
it's
you
kind of a you
you
problem,
really
honestly.
didn't. Okay.
So can we go back to bed now?
No, I definitely need to go jogging right now. I have a lot to think about. Um, all right, let me put it this way. If by the time I get back the body isn't here, I won't have to report you. How's that sound?
Hmm. Does that mean I have to take the puppet bees out of your closet as well?
Anything that you put in my closet, I want out. And if it's all gone by the time I get back, I will try to pretend this never happened, except in my nightmares.
So just the stuff that you know about, right?
All of it. Even if I know about it, if I don't know about it. If you put it in my closet, I want it out.
Sure, you're right. I'll get to that. I'll get to that, definitely. Just right after I get more of my beauty sleep.
Well, I'm
See you at
gonna be back.
8:15.
I'm gonna be back in an hour, so you have that long.
Fine.
All right, I'll let you take care of that. Have fun. God, why did I have to draw him?
So,
And he's gone.
as they leave. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm gonna start. It's like, I'm gonna start taking stuff out of the closet. A box full of, you know, uh, cybernetic bees. which is in a box, you know, um, a tube of a tube that I open up and I listen to it, and I just hear like a very like ominous whispering coming from like the darkness within the tube. Then it's like, nope, not quite ready yet. I reseal it, and then I take out the body. I pocket the other two. Put the other two things in my closet, which clearly has noises coming from inside from like the rats.
Yeah, of
Uh,
course. Why wouldn't it?
I was like, well, I can fit these in here, but I honestly, even if I could, I don't have enough room for the cadaver. Hmm. Wonder where I could drag it. Hmm. Who is an easily susceptible person who is gullible enough to just do what I say? Zack Thunder.
Here
Uh,
we go.
well,
All right. All right.
hey, yeah, who's this? This is Zack Thunder speaking. It's like, I need to use your closet. On my, who's this? It's like, someone who you don't want to cross. It's gonna do a bit of a time. It's gonna do like one of those like clocks ticking by as an hour passes, and then it's I have success. I'm just gonna do like the classic like kind of wiping his hands from of dust kind of thing. It's like
Well, actually, no, we're gonna do a thing. You're gonna do a dexterity and streetwise roll to see if you successfully make it without anyone noticing.
yes, that passes. I mean, it depends on what combos we're going for, but for just pure streetwise, my pure streetwise is 31.
Yeah, and your dexterity is like 50 something. So yeah, okay, you make it. You make it to Zack Thunder's room, and nobody notices you dragging a body
Perfect.
at 5 something in the morning. Sure.
I just like to imagine that my roommate was coming back from from his run, and he just sees me dragging the body into another room.
And he's gonna say to himself, "Well, it's not my closet. It's not my problem."
Beautiful.
Oh God.
Zach Thunder. So how's you and your Stormlords thing going, huh? Oh, well, pretty good. We're gonna have a battle of the bands tonight. If you want to join, no. I'm good. Obviously, I don't really uh socialize with that group very much. But you're going to have your closet free for the night. Well, I mean, I do need to bring my band stuff, so like probably good. I'm gonna jam this corpse in there and use it for later. Zack Thunder doesn't want to know. So he's gonna yeah. So well, wish me luck against those Vulcans tonight. My band's kind of new to this thing, but I'm pretty sure they'll, you know, this won't have any repercussions on our relationship in the future. Our band will be great. Foreshadowing.
Backshadowing.
Foreshadow.
Oh God. Um.
His old. This is his old band before the incident where everyone broke up, or at least one of the first. This is like the beginning of the tale that led
Yes.
up to his band breaking up years in the future.
Yes. The fort
The
that led to
first
the
seed.
ultimate on the Lexington. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Mm.
Yes. Uh,
So I'm gonna now having successfully, stored away my the cadaver for later use. I'm kind of hungry, so Fish is gonna go off to get some breakfast.
all right. So we're gonna. The drone's gonna interrupt. Say. So, pardon me for a second.
Yes. Mhm.
Why did you have the cadaver, and why did you need to take it to your room in the first
Well,
place?
as I mentioned, they said I wasn't quite at the level where I was allowed to start using biomechanical engineering on their limited cadaver supply. So I took the matter into my own hands and retrieved one for my personal use.
And where, pray tell, were you going to work on it?
Ah, yes. Well, you see, that's a story for another time.
Okay.
Potentially later during the day. Who knows? It depends on which parts I'm interested in telling you, Dottrone.
Ah, fair enough. All right, you were saying something about going and getting food.
Yes. I was gonna go get some lunch. A nice sandwich, tuna sandwich.
Hmm.
So I imagine Fish just kind of like strolls into the cafeteria. Uh,
As you do.
yes.
Well,
What
this
type
would
of
this
clicks
would
are there?
be well, this would be at like 6 in the morning.
Yes. Who's the 6 in the morning crew?
Um, primarily Vulcans, actually.
Mm, perfect. So I'm gonna do the classic. I go up to one of the machines. Wait, how is this set up? Is it 3D printers around
Yeah,
generally?
it's replicators
Replicators? Okay.
for primary. Well, that right now it's only replicators, basically the equivalent of vending
Mm,
machines, because the breakfast does not start until 8.
okay. So I can't like replicate any like full pig bodies or things like that? No? Okay. How about I just get the tuna sandwich.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna go over and I'm gonna look around, see who else is eating at the moment.
All right. So there are 15 other people in the cafeteria. 12 of them are Vulcans. One is that same Andorian that you saw in the middle of the night. She's gonna see you, and she's just gonna try to just kind of look down at her plate, just trying to pretend you're not there. And then there's two humans, a guy and a girl, sitting across from each other, having some kind of lively conversation.
I'm gonna walk up to the two people having a lively conversation and just sit in front of them and watch them yell at each other while I eat my food.
Well, it's not yelling at each other, but it's very spirited. They're really getting into it.
Okay.
So,
I'm just gonna yes, I'm just gonna eat in front of them and say nothing.
all right. So it is a Asian looking guy. Looks well, everyone's about your age basically, and the lady is she's white with blonde hair. Looks to be about 5'2", and they're having a heated debate about. Let's see, what could it be? Man, I love improv. Um, they're having a debate on. It'd be way too obvious to make it about medical ethics. That's just too on the nose. How about there's so many Star Trekky things to talk about, I'm afraid to do something that I would not be able to finish the conversation. Uh,
Something about Captain Kirk, maybe.
I was kind of thinking about something historical. Oh, you know what? Yes, yes. It's going to be about. Oh, I shouldn't do that. Um, let's see. Have you watched Strange New Worlds at all?
I'm very minimal knowledge.
Okay, that wouldn't necessarily work too well.
I know Picard.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's after this. Um, because Strange New Worlds in the original series, those characters would be known by people circa 2293.
Mm,
Um, let's see. So what I wanted to do is have them debating McCoy versus Mabenga, who was with Pike. But if you don't really know Strange New Worlds, it doesn't help too much.
I feel like I know a little bit about it, but not enough to have a constructive conversation.
Yes, 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 yes. All right. Have you seen Star Trek Six? The
So those
undiscovered.
Klingons, am I right?
Yes, the undiscovered country. Like, have you seen that one?
Probably not. No,
Okay. You're killing me, Smalls.
I
Uh,
I ain't got that much knowledge. I know very retro stuff and like a lot of just kind of random tidbits.
mhm. Well, the plot to Star Trek Six, that's the one where there was the
I know
peace
Wrath of Khan.
talks. Maybe we could do that. But yeah, six was the one where there were the peace talks between the Federation and the Klingons, and there was an assassination of the Klingon Chancellor, and McCoy and Kirk were framed for it. Uh,
Ah,
and it ends with a fight over Camp Kittimer with the Excelsior and the Enterprise versus a Klingon bird of prey that can fire while cloaked, which would happen literally this same year. 22. Actually, no, it would have happened the year before. 22. Actually, no, it would have been this year. Yeah, it would have been 2293 because you've been on the ship for over a year now. Our ship. So, wait, wait a second. When
timelines.
timelines? Yeah, you wouldn't have been on the Excelsior yet. Yeah, at this point. So, wait, wait a second. You would have been on the no, it was 2292. Dang it, it was a year before. Um, so no, you would not have been on the literally the year before this, your cadet cruise was on the Excelsior. So, um,
Hmm.
hmm.
Well, I'm going to assume that they're just talking about uh, something to do with Captain Kirk. And I'm like, ah, yes.
All right, so yeah, you've seen The Wrath of Khan. How well do you remember it?
I remember the general plot of basically Captain Kirk. You know, Wrath of Khan. Khan was from the whole eugenics thing. Uh, and that kind of like Khan was from the eugenics.
Hmm.
He took over the ship because I remember watching the episode itself.
Yeah, in the
And
original
then they
series.
found a planet for them to live on,
Hmm.
but then the planet was near like a sun that was going to go critical, or a planet
Or
along
one
those
of the
lines.
other planets exploded,
Yeah,
shifted its orbit, turned it into a
yeah,
desert wasteland.
desert, which awakened like the earwig things or whatever they
Ugh.
were.
Yeah,
That
that's
like
like the only life left, which basically means they're either eating each other or they're living exclusively off of those things.
Yeah, and then that caused the whole. I know there's some stuff, some stuff happens. Uh, Kirk gets trapped on the planet for a bit, I think, or something that happened.
Yeah,
Khan
because
takes the actual their his ship, and then there's something to do with Spock dying, I think, and then being brought back to life with
well,
like
that's
the
Star Trek
pure
3.
form. That's another one. Okay,
All right, so yeah, I can base you've got the highlights. So yes, Khan
I know
Noonien
about
Singh,
Khan.
yeah, he was a warlord during the eugenics wars on Earth in the 1990s. He wound up controlling a quarter of the entire planet. And of the eugenics warlords of the genetically modified humans, he was actually supposedly the most benevolent. So, like, still a dictator, though. He eventually escaped on the SS Botany Bay, launched into deep space, where everyone thought he was gone and dead, until the Enterprise, during Kirk's first tour with it, found the ship, revived him. Khan almost took over the ship, so Kirk marooned him and all of his people on SETI Alpha 5.
Mm.
Uh, and soon
I,
after, the other SETI Alpha 6 exploded, shifted the orbit of SETI Alpha 5, turned into a desert. And a number of years later, the USS Reliant comes along looking for a planet where they could use what was called the Genesis device, which is a terraforming MacGuffin that could basically take a lifeless planet and turn it into a planet capable of supporting life. So they go to the planet thinking it's SETI Alpha 6 because some reason they couldn't figure out, wait a minute, there's supposed to be another planet here. What's all this debris? Just plot. Whatever, man. So Chekhov and the captain are captured. Khan winds up actually taking over the Reliant and slaughtering its entire crew, basically. Um,
guess he wasn't very reliant on the crew, huh?
No, he wasn't. So using the Reliant, he's able to ambush the Enterprise, severely damage it, but Kirk is able to do Kirk things and damage the Reliant back in turn by making its shields drop. So the Reliant slinks off. Kirk and the Enterprise are sitting there trying to figure out what the heck Khan is up to. They eventually figure out something with the Genesis device. That's what Khan wants. Actually, Khan specifically asks about the Genesis device. So what happens is they go to the station where the Genesis device is being worked on. Um, let's see. I'm trying to remember how this part happened. Yes, Kirk does wind up getting stranded underneath the surface of the planet where the Genesis device was being worked on. However, they had led Khan to believe that the Enterprise is a lot more damaged than it was. Enterprise rescues them. Then it turns into a fight between the Enterprise and the Reliant. Enterprise wins, of course, but Khan sets the Genesis device on a timer to where it's basically going to go off, and the Enterprise is close enough to it where the Enterprise would have been destroyed when the Genesis device went off. But Spock sacrifices himself by going into a reactor and fixing it to allow the Enterprise to go to warp and escape, so Spock dies at the end. Um, I'm sure I overlooked a few things, but that's basically what happened. All
So
right.
I like to imagine that conversation was
Well,
basically happening.
I know it. So here's the conversation. So you're gonna go up and so one of the people's gonna be saying, all right, so the woman there is gonna be saying, now, I understand he was a warlord. He did a lot of bad things. But, and she's going to lower her voice, that doesn't mean that banning eugenics is the right thing to do. Guy's going to say, you do, I can't believe I'm having this conversation. We have laws about it for a reason. There's a reason why that entire branch of science has been blocked off because it leads to things like that and a lot of people dying and starships getting taken over and more people dying. Like just we don't need augmented humans. If you can step in anytime you'd like to.
He's just like eating my sandwich, looking at the wheel. Hmm.
How close to them are you sitting?
Like right in front, like like how there's like the seats,
Well,
like
they're
right
across from each
across
other.
from them. Yeah. Oh, okay. Then I'm whatever one is like in between them, like
All
at
right,
the
so
most,
no,
like
what here's what
most.
they're sitting at the end. You pull up a chair and just sit right at
Yeah.
the end.
Just cross my legs, eating the sandwich.
They're both going to look at you, and the guy's going to go,
Oh no, keep arguing. It's go ahead. It was entertaining.
"Okay." He's going to stop a second. She's going to say, "But you do realize how many things that's cut us off from, like how many different medical fields that we can't even touch that could help so many people. Like we can't even research the idea of genetic modification to eliminate certain diseases because of these laws. I mean, I joined Starfleet and I'm going into the medical corps to try to help as many people as possible. But I'm sitting here seeing how many ways my hands are tied and how many directions I cannot go. Like there's just like I don't want to turn us into superhumans, but there's a lot that we can do.
What are you talking about?
Excuse me?
Turning us into superhumans is basically what we should be doing. I mean, my family been there, done that with the genetic modification thing. Trust me. But when it comes down to the actual stuff, I think biomechanical enhancements. Now that's the field we need to be researching. Who needs the flesh when you could have mechanical enhancements?
They're both gonna stare at you a second. The guy's gonna squint a second and go, wait a minute. I know you. Soong. Soong. Oh. Oh. Didn't one of your ancestors try to continue this work like in the 2150s and Captain Archer got involved or something?
Yes, no, that sounds about right.
Oh, hey. Oh. Okay, so I know what I'm
If I
working
had to
with
say,
here.
pretty short-sighted if I had to say anything about it.
Yeah, I'm gathering that. Okay, so yeah, you two are two birds of a feather, I guess. She's gonna say, no, 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 do not put words in my mouth. I never said that. He's talking about something else. And if you're talking about Dr. Eric Soong, I remember reading about him in the lecture on do not do this. Okay, so that's the blood in your veins. That makes this make a lot of sense. So, okay. So you want to explain this to me. You want to augment us mechanically?
Yes, but the end goal of curing death.
Both of their eyes are going to get really big.
Death is a disease. I'm simply trying to create the vaccine, the cure. Step-by-step process, but I've been slowly working towards it. All I need to do is finally get my hands on some real bodies, and I feel like I can start making some real progress. You see, I have some stuff I've been doing with some rats and other animal corpses. I'm uh, oath do no harm. So I just take the dead bodies and I work with those. Making some real strides in my field. I think if I had some willing test subjects, I look at them a bit strangely as I say that. I feel like I could really make some steps forward.
They're
Eat
gonna
sandwich.
they're gonna look at each other, and he's gonna say, "Remind me not to be so critical of your viewpoint in the future. I've discovered it might be more reasonable than I thought. Okay.
So
Um,
are you two? So did you two stop arguing?
I guess so.
Well, I guess my fun's over. I'm just gonna get up and I'm gonna start walking. Let's see. I suddenly stop and I turn and I realize something. I look over to the corner of the room and I see them.
Who is
Biff.
them? Let's see. Hang on a second. Pardon me. I told you. Sorry, I told you about that thing, that event's happening tomorrow, and I've got people messaging me on it, and it's of
Yeah, no
course.
problem.
Talk amongst yourself, folks at home. I'll be right back.
I turn and I see Biff. The old nemesis, like the old popular guy, the classic football player or what have you. However, I know this person. They tried to do one thing they never should. They crushed what they did. They crushed one of my rats, one of my experimental rats.
Okay.
They tried to get away with it, but I managed to. It took me a solid. It was the first. It was prototype Mark One rats. It took me weeks to finally get it tuned just right to take commands and function properly. And when it was going down the hallway, he crushed it, thinking that it was a random rat. Do you know what that means? I have a blood vengeance that I must fulfill. And there's only one true way of getting back at somebody who has wronged me. Dramatic pause.
I'm still typing something. Please hold.
And I'm just saying, he's like, dramatic pause. He's like, there's only one way to get back. So do harm to me. Dramatic pause. Grab some more water, which I will here, I think. Yes. My next goal, as I have seen Biff, my target of revenge, for destroying one of my rats. The first rat, prototype 1. I need to get him expelled. So there's only one solution to getting Biff expelled for the crime of crushing prototype 1 rat. P1R.
And what
I
is that?
must sneak into the principal's office or the director's office and edit the files so that he'll be forcibly expelled. The only solution.
Okay. Oh God. Okay. Sure. So let's. All right. So your plan now at 6 in the morning is to go to the office. It's now gonna be about what 6:30. Time for you to eat. So you're gonna what go? So you see this guy just sitting there, and it prompts you to think, "Hey, I'm gonna go get him expelled."
Yeah, no, because he destroyed prototype 1 rat. P1R. He destroyed P1R. Sure, he did actually know what he was doing, but that doesn't mean he didn't destroy P1R. Now P1R, P2R through basically the other rats are gonna get revenge with me. So I'm gonna go back to my room. I'm going to open up I'm going to take out one of the rats. And I'm gonna put on the little like headpiece that connects it to a camera lens in its eye. I'm gonna start remoting it down the hallway to the principal. So I'm gonna scout it. I'm putting it through the ventilation. I'm gonna scout out the location of the principal's
Dean.
office.
The
The
dean.
dean. The dean.
Okay. Well, I mean, you know where the office is. It's not hard.
Yes. So it's just gonna like. So I'm just gonna have the cyber rat just crawl through the and just crawl through the vent and go to the office to get a camera view to see if they're there or not or how it's going.
At 6:30 something, no, there's no one in the office yet.
Okay, perfect. I'm now going to send another rat with a drill so that they can cut through the bolts. So they can get through the vent. There's a rat squad, and then there's a third one, which I can plug into has basically a little USB, so I can actually connect directly to the dean's
Oh my
device
lord.
from my room.
Okay, go
You didn't
off.
take my rats from me, so might as well.
I mean, why would I?
Yes.
Okay, sure. So the first two, that works well enough. So, but the last one, yeah, the rat gets there. You're able to get it to access the computer because in their infinite wisdom, they didn't turn the computer off overnight. So, yay, the rat's able to use the pad to get it going. So,
Nice. I'm going to hack. I want to make a hacking roll to try and, or can I just access the dean's computer, or do I have to like hack into it?
all right. So, hack one is to like unlock it because it's on, but it's got a password.
Okay.
All right, and so that is just going to be computer operation plus intelligence.
Computer operation. That's a 46 plus 80.
So that's 126 divided by 2, which should be 63.
By 2. 63. Come on. And
Oh, damn.
easy. I
Okay.
knew it. Like, yes, I knew their password. It's password. I hate fish spoon. It's always the password.
All right.
I hate Soong. Okay, so now I'm in. Okay, what files we got?
All right. I mean, you literally.
Okay, so I'm
So,
gonna go into the school. I'm gonna go into the school dossier for people and their grades.
okay.
I'm gonna check out Biff's. I want to see more info on Biff.
All right. It's going to ask for another password for admin privileges in order
Oof.
to. You can see it, but in order to change it, you've got to have admin privileges.
Well, okay. Okay. Just classic computer hacking, typing on different computers, and hitting button. Oh, that's a miss. Oof.
Yep. It's going to say access denied. 2 more tries remaining.
Oh. Am I able to try again, or do I gotta try
Well,
something
yeah,
else?
you're able to try again.
Okay, yes. Thank goodness this is a Federation computer. Yes.
Okay, yes, you're in.
Easy. It's like, oh wait, I tried. I feel like first I was like, I hate fish soon. It's like, oh wait, that didn't work. I'm going to expel fish soon. Ding, yes, knew it.
Oh god. Okay. Um. So yes. All right. So you see his grades. Um. All right. So what department did you say this guy is in again, or like describe him again for me? I was typing at
He
that time.
is the classic jock slash athlete.
Okay, so he's definitely in security. So all of his science grades are C's. Basically his grades in everything except for stuff involving combat, security stuff, or phys ed are primarily C's. A handful of B's, but phys ed he gets A's. Marksmanship, basically all the stuff he gets B's and A's for, like the stuff that really a security guy would care about.
I'm going to do the smartest move possible.
Hmm.
I'm going to change all of his grades to perfect 100s.
I see what you're doing
Be-
there. Okay.
yeah. So it looks like someone hacked into it. Specifically, he got someone to do it so to make his grades look fake, like someone hacked in for him.
Okay. I need you
Yeah.
to make another of the same role. I think wait a second, let me make sure that's what I want you to do. Yeah, do the same role for me.
Okie dokie. The truest of solutions. Oh, that
Okay.
passed.
All right. So you do that. You're able to change everything. Um, anything else you want to do in the office?
Hmm. I'm going to actually. Can I? I'm gonna go searching through the expulsion sheets and I kind of want to go to the list of like, uh, is there kind of how schools will or just kind of institutes will have probably a list of students or like troubled students or people to watch out for issues.
I mean, there's a list that lists students that have had like issues, like that
Yeah.
have been. I mean, there's also a list of students who have been kicked out for various reasons.
Mm.
Which are you looking for?
I'm looking for the list of students who were kicked out.
Okay, I mean, this Starfleet Academy's been around for like over 100 something years, so there's literally thousands upon thousands of names organized by year.
Rat, download all files.
Okay. So you have the entire list of students who have been expelled from Starfleet Academy since its founding in the 2140s or so.
It's like perfect. Well, if I and then I just kind of lean back and we have them return. It's like, well, if some sort of unforeseeable future happened where I needed to go into the and start working the black market, these contacts will be very useful.
Okay. Okay.
World building.
Something like that. All right. So all that's done by about, let's say, 7:30.
Perfect. Okay. So, did my roommate come back?
Oh, your roommate was already there. And were you doing this from your room?
Yes.
He's just muttering to yourself, I'm not seeing this. I'm not seeing this.
I probably didn't
This
say
isn't
what I was
happening.
doing to him directly, but I'm muttering like very maniacal laughter. Well, now that my scheming is finished, it's time to go on and let's see about that class. What class do I have next?
All right, at 8 a.m., you are going to have astrophysics.
Hmm. I'm going to take the box of bees and put it in my bag just in case. It's a safety precaution.
What the hell? Okay.
Now, if Biff, my arch enemy, realizes it was me who changed his grades, I need something if he comes after me.
Okay, well, that's definitely not would not be happening today, but or at least not immediately. So,
Well, it depends if yeah, I mean, yeah, true, but it depends on how quickly they find that the thing's been tampered with, and then trace back the fact that I assume the Federation's somewhat efficient. Obviously, not as efficient enough to beat the mighty fish soon, but still. Uh, So yeah, I'm
Well,
gonna head to first class.
unless you want anything in particular to happen, nothing of note is going to happen up until lunch.
Yeah, I don't want anything to happen to me, obviously,
Okay.
but I definitely want to be there if something happens to Biff.
All right.
But yes, I so head to the first class for the day.
All right. So
My
you go to the
keys
class, nothing
tucked
eventful
away
happens.
silently.
It's astrophysics. I could not begin to talk about it, so don't you dare ask me to give an astrophysics lecture. I am not an actual
Astrophysics.
writer for Star Trek.
So I'm just gonna ask in class. So the astrophysics class. This is correlating to Earth or from the core of Earth, or are we talking about our local galaxy?
That's not. Well, it makes sense then that you actually don't even have astrophysics on your sheet. I'm gonna say this class is the study of stellar phenomenon and physics as it applies to space in general.
Hmm. That's easy. I know how that works. Basically, to boil it all down, astrophysics is a lot like a slinky, right?
Press is gonna go, oh God, not this again. And then the remainder of the class is taken up by you talking about slinkies, no matter how
Yeah.
much the professor tries to interrupt.
It's like it's like, and this here is how the energy of a star kind of begins to condense. It's like, so kind of like how when you condense a slinky by compressing it, and it can generate energy, but from the shock wave of the slinky that. It's like and this is how warp travel. So it's kind of like when you take a slinky, and it's like the next.
Professor's gonna say, I know I don't get paid, but they don't pay enough for this shit. Oh,
Ah.
I love teaching. I love teaching. I love teaching. I love teaching.
So you love teaching about slinkies? I'm saying I go up to the board. I like when it's kind of like people ask about like when it has that moment where it's would someone like to come up and demonstrate it? It's like, oh yes, I will. It's like, except if it's like, oh no, no, and I go up and I just start drawing a slinky and explaining it. Like it kind of makes sense from like a mathematical standpoint, but from like an actual logistics of astrophysics, it's like completely nonsensical. That's what I imagine at least.
Okay, just whatever.
Class over that. Yes, I just
So,
see there was something there.
all right. Well, following that class at 9:30, you're going to have astrobiology.
Perfect. Okay.
And that
I
one,
got.
of course, is
I
going to be talking about, uh, and this class in particular is talking, it's talking about the Klingon Targ.
the Targ.
Yes, the Klingon Targ.
Okay, out of character. Huh? I know Klingon, but what's a Klingon Targ? Is that like a organ or
It is no, it is a
group?
animal. It's the
Oh, okay.
closest thing the Klingons have to a dog. Let's
Hmm.
see, and they actually eat it too. It's kind of looks a lot like a um, looks like oh God, how do I describe it? Um,
I will look
like
up
a
a picture.
wild boar. Looks a lot like a wild boar.
Hmm. Oh wow, yeah, that is. That is. It looks. Yeah, it's a. It looks like a dog boar
Yes,
with spikes. It's
yes,
kind of adorable.
yeah. Klingons will keep
Okay.
them as pets sometimes and eat them because Klingons.
Well, okay, I'm gonna let's see. So, are we going to dissect, Professor? Are we dissecting one today?
I was gonna say, no, considering there's only like five in all of Federation space, and the remainder being in the Klingon Empire, no, there's not really enough to go around to be slicing them up willy-nilly.
Do you have a 3D model copy that we can dissect?
How would that work?
Whether it's okay, out of care. I mean, do they have like it's like a 3D like technology where they would like pull a Tony Stark where there's like generate a 3D model with the organs and systems, and then you can like kind of move it and separate it in order to
No,
dissect it.
no matter what Discovery would have you think, that's not a technology that would be in use at this time.
Okay, a fully constructed 3D printed copy that like you kind of it's like a mannequin of a human, but a mannequin of a targ.
Fish, soon. This is purely just for discussion of we're comparing the Targ to the Earth boar. This isn't something that you need to dissect in order to know, because I severely doubt you are ever going to see a Targ. This is purely an academic exercise. If you're so keen on dissecting things, uh, in 2 weeks we'll be dissecting Andorian eels.
Ah, I thought you were gonna say an Andorian.
No, though,
Are
if
we
you
dissecting an Andorian
um,
after?
no, although if you graduate, God forbid, you may wind up working on an Andorian someday. I don't know. I help whoever that winds up having to be. Something
Mm.
tells me that if you ever have to try to rescue an Andorian from brain damage or near certain death, you're going to fail miserably. Foreshadowing.
It's like me. It's like I don't need to save them if I can just wrench out the brain and stick it in a new body. Then would I? Hmm. I bet my captain will be fine with whatever decision I make, as clearly the highest medical officer on that ship, as I will definitely be. Most definitely.
Gonna say, I don't know how we got down this road, but anyhow, all right, class. So, the Targ. Now, you may know from your history that a few hundred years ago, until the population was under control, that the wild earth boar, or wild hogs, they're often known, were a plague in many ways across large portions of the then United States. They actually didn't even have regulations on hunting them. As many as you could kill, the better. Now, for the Targ, the Klingons kind of had the opposite thought. They want as many as possible. And there, from what we understand and know about Klingon culture, there are a lot of them. Although the Klingon propensity for raw meat means they still eat quite a few Targ, despite the ones they keep in captivity as pets, but they're very hardy creatures. They make our Earth boars look like piglets in comparison. They're
You
apparently
said there's only
incredibly hard to
five,
kill. Say, well,
Professor. You said there's only 5 boars within our space. Technically,
five
they have plenty of
Targs.
others.
Five
Targs, 5
Targs.
targs in our space, but the Klingons have plenty of targs in their actual homes. Right? Correct.
That is correct.
So if, per se, theoretically, someone was to uh, extract some targs from their home planet and theoretically transport them into Federation space and theoretically sell them, how much do you think they would, how easy it would be to find them on the black market? Theoretically, of course.
He's going to stare at you a second, look down at a pad, type a few things, look back up and say, I don't have an answer to that, and even if I did, I would not give it to you.
Well, I mean, it wasn't for me. It was for them, and I pointed to the person sitting to my left. They wanted to know really badly. They were very quiet.
Sure they did. Right. Miss Anderson, can you confirm that? She's going to go, nope. That's what I thought. All right, Mr. Soong,
Nope.
let's
Yeah,
just
they're very shy.
I I'm sure she is. All right, moving along, back to the Targ. Now, very similar to Klingons themselves and multiple other species on Kronos, Targs have multiple hearts. Now, the interesting thing
Fish's hand
is,
goes up.
yes, fish soon.
Do they need both hearts to live? And if, in theory, someone were to retrieve that black market targ and replaced one of their hearts with a cybernetic one, in the meantime, would the other heart be able to keep up with the lost capacity
I
or
will
the
answer the
translate?
first of those questions and pretend I didn't hear the second. like Klingons, the second heart is for redundancy. It is a very common physiological trait on Kronos for animals to have redundant organs, and the Targ is no exception.
So would you say that having redundant organs is an evolutional benefit?
Definitely.
So if humans were to obtain more redundant organs, whether through genetic or biomechanical alternatives, that would be a net positive for human society to have a redundant organ in case of emergency.
It's going to stare at you a second, look down its pad, type something, look back and say, ethically speaking, I cannot give an answer to that.
But from a survivability and longevity perspective, having extra redundant organs would, in fact, theoretically increase the potential lifespan of the person due to organ failure becoming less likely, and also save them in case of a sudden emergency medical incident.
At the risk of saying something that's going to get me in trouble, the extent of our medical ethics allow us to replace organs at the point at which they fail in doing a transplant. There is not allowance for augmenting ourselves with additional organs, limbs, etc., etc.
Hmm. So, but we have courses for doing transplant surgeries, correct? Or at least understanding the basics?
You are going to be practicing such things, yes.
Hmm. Good. Good. Just leans back in his chair.
Why does that make me so nervous? All right. So that's probably a good place to cut
Yeah.
that part. Okay. All right, let's move on to
I like.
lunch.
Okay. At some point, can we go to because he does have uh one of his higher skills, I think, is psychology or how did he get his degree in therapy? I'm curious.
Okay.
Doesn't have to be right now, but we just one of along the days or missions.
Well, if we might get there. We'll see, because things are about to go a different direction. So, it's lunchtime. So, what was the dude's name again? Biff?
If yeah,
Biff? Did you give him a last name?
uh, Biff, uh, McFly.
Damn it. Fine, I'm going with it. I thought you were going to say Tannen, but nope, nope, you subverted it, and I'm proud of it. Okay. So you're going to be sitting there in the mess hall, and over the PA is going to say, Cadet Biff McFly, if you'd report to the dean's office, and you'll look across and you'll see. So there's Biff sitting there. Of course, he's got all kinds of people around him, like a lot of
Mm.
girls, just like they're all cutting up. He's going to look up and go, "Oh, hang on, guys. I'll get this cleared up and be right back." So he's going to go off.
I'm gonna as he leaves, I'm gonna quickly start typing something into like a little wristwatch or something I have to like start getting into contact with Rat One, so I can like have the one with the camera, so I can like spy on them.
Well, fun fact. Second later, it's going to go, um, Cadet Fish Sue, would you please report to the dean's office?
Well, they said please, so I obviously it's a request, so I don't need to go. So I can continue eating my sandwich.
Um,
I get.
about 5 minutes later, you go, Cadet Fish Soong, report to the dean's office.
Well, they never said when I had to go, so I continue eating my sandwich.
But another 5 minutes later, you're going to like a actual someone with a security officer is going to show up and go, Cadet Soong,
Yes, I'm eating my sandwich still.
your presence is required in the dean's office.
Yeah, I mean, they never said when I need to show up.
Now,
Fine. I take the sandwich I was eating incredibly slowly, which is still only like halfway eaten, and I bring it with me.
All right. So, so you're gonna show up there, and on the way in, you're going to hear someone yelling, and while you're making your way in, so you're going to see an admiral standing behind a desk, just basically dressing down Biff, saying, "I don't know how you did it. I might know who did it for you. I don't know why you had to do it. Your grades were adequate. You were going to graduate. You were going to be just fine. And then you pull a stunt like this? Think, McFly, think!" Do that. I had to do that. Then I'm gonna see you like, "You, Sue, get in here."
Yes.
All right. Got over the list of people that could have been involved in this. And your name came up. So I gotta ask you straight up. Did you help him change his grades?
Why?
Because whoever did it used rats. Not they didn't think the fact that there are security cameras in the office. But this morning I watched a video of a rat climb out of my air vent, plug something into my computer, and then leave. There's only a handful of people on this campus that are capable of such a thing, and your name is at the absolute top based on the shenanigans that I know you get involved in. It's going to say, also including some
Really?
conversations you've apparently been
Number one,
having we
even
need to
above
address.
Randy the Rat Fanatic? That's literally the nickname everyone calls him. The guy who's obsessed with rats, Randy the Rat Fanatic, even he's second compared to me. You're joking.
He's going to look at you, going to look at McFly and say, "Have you ever heard of this person?" Biff's going to go, "Nope." I'll look back. "I haven't heard of this person."
I mean, that's because his name is Randy Cleverton, but I mean, everyone just calls him Randy Rat Fanatic.
He's going to hit a button on his desk. "Martha, can you get Randy Cleverton up here?" She's going to go, "Yes, boss." I had to sneak it in there.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yes. Okay, we'll deal with him in a moment. Fish. Son, you are one of the most promising students that we have had come through in so many years, but you just keep pulling shit like this. Uh,
Is he talking to Biff or me? I can't.
no, to you.
Okay. I was like, because I was.
No, no, Biff's average.
It's
Uh,
like, sorry, I'm just not used to someone actually saying, it's like, you have so much potential. It's like, really?
yes. Well, I mean, he's an
That's
educator.
pretty.
He's supposed to be that way.
Mm.
Say, all right. Let's
By the
say
way,
hypothetically you did change his grades to give him all hundreds. Why? What would he have incentivized you with?
fine. I might as well confess. I did change his grades for him, but only because he offered to give me something that I admittedly was very much looking for. I didn't know. He said it was sourced ethically. Uh, he said he could, in exchange for changing his grades to hundreds, he could give me a ethically sourced fresh cadaver.
At this point, you don't know whose eyes are bigger, Biff's or the dean's. Um, so, the dean, the admiral's going to go, okay. This. Yeah, they can't train you for this one. Cadet. Oh, I don't know where to begin with this one. Okay, I'll be start with you. Cadet McFly, can you verify in any way, shape, or form what he's saying? He's gonna look at you and go, I don't know what you're smoking, but I don't think I want any. No, sir, I cannot verify this because nothing along these lines has even come close to happening. Um, I have had next to no interactions with Cadet Soong here, um, let alone me requesting him to change my grades for a dead body.
I'll
Uh,
have you know, you trying to pull away from it, Biff, but obviously the jig is up. Might as well just confess. Like you said, you said you would hand it off to Zach Thunder and leave it inside of his closet till the exchange was done. And well, I think it's just time. As I'm saying this, I'm like sneakily typing for the rats to basically contact to get to Zach Thunder and kind of like basically do a classic. They're just gonna scribble a piece of paper. It's like when they come, just just say yes. Just say yes about Biff. And it kind of like or your guitar gets it, and another rat's just gonna be pointing like a laser at it. It's like basically it's just gonna be like a little rat mafia style situation. Like one of it's gonna be a full Rebby situation. One of them's like kind of on his back, like under Zach Thunder's like a hat on Zach Thunder's head, just kind of like listening in on the conversation. So it's little rat posse, and I'm just like basically to go along with it.
that's special. Okay. Um. Okay. Dean's going to go. Cadet Soong, do you have any evidence of this?
Yes, there's the cadaver should be in like it said, Zach Thunder's room, and Zach even knew about this, so he should be able to corroborate this.
Boop. Can we can we get Cadet uh Thaddeus up here and have security search his quarters for a dead body?
All the
Gonna
rats
be
will obviously hide, except the one that's in underneath Zach Thunder's hat, and probably the ones that scurried away with the guitar.
yes. So there's gonna be a long pause and gonna go. Uh, Boss, did I hear you right that we're about to have a security search that Thaddeus's room for a dead body? Yes, that is what I said. Okay, this is a fun Tuesday. All right, I'll get it taken care of, sir. Thank you. Oh, they don't pay enough for this. Oh, they don't pay at all. I wish they did sometimes. So after after a few minutes, here comes Zach Thunder with wearing a hat. Um,
Very, I like to imagine he's like sweating profusely,
and right
very
after
nervous.
him is going to come a security officer going to say, uh, "Sir, we can corroborate. We found a cadaver in a bag in the closet in Cadet Thaddeus's room." Dean's going to go, "Oh, Jesus Christ on a chicken." Hey, um, I'm gonna need all three of these cadets in handcuffs right now, because we're about to have to launch a full-blown investigation and potentially.
Well, the dead body was obviously from I mean, out of context, if they like
Well, that hasn't been
investigate, yeah.
mentioned,
I
so
don't know.
he
I'm just
doesn't
saying,
know.
like, but out of context, just so you know, this isn't a stray corpse. This is,
I
yeah,
know.
this
He has not been told that what this body
obviously,
is, so he's
and he's
having to
not. Yeah,
go on the worst. And it's gonna say, okay,
this
who
just sounds like
killed
a
this?
met
Who
joke.
is this person? Who killed them? I need these two answers right now.
I mean, this Biff should know. He said he it was a cadaver properly sourced, so it must be from some sort of scientific facility you know about, right, Biff?
I say, you little shit. It's like, cadet, answer the question. I don't know where the body came from. This is all news to me. I don't know what these two are pulling right now, but I'm just as lost as you are, sir. No, no, I didn't. The admiral was like, Dean, being a detective was not part of the job description. Okay, Lieutenant, looking at the security officer, is there any markings or identification that can show who or what or where the body came from? Lieutenant goes, not that we have found, sir. Okay. Well, guess we're gonna have to shut down the school and let the police get involved. That's great. That's just fantastic. That's exactly how I wanted today to go. All right, you three. Well, we're gonna be calling the police, and you're all gonna be going down to spend a little bit of time in lockup. I think there's a very good chance this is the end of all three of your careers. So congratulations, you done goofed.
I have alternatives.
Okay.
Just
So
very calm. And then like Zach Thunder, I just like Zach Thunder might need therapy after this, sweating a lot. And then
God.
Fish is gonna look at like, I think I can help with that.
Oh God. Okay, so how are we gonna
But,
get you unexpelled in the next 43 minutes? Let's find out.
well, to be fair, this wasn't like to be fair, it was like a cadaver ethically sourced. So, he's probably in a bit of water, but it's very simple. A
But you
very simple
also
solution.
admitted to changing the guy's grades. That's a bigger
Yes.
issue, possibly.
I know. And I have a perfectly grand solution to this.
Okay, then I'm glad to hear that. Otherwise, I was like, what the hell are you doing?
It is very
You
easy.
see the hole you're digging yourself
No,
into.
it's a very simple solution.
All right, well, we'll find out momentarily. So, okay.
Okay.
All right, so yeah, you're about to be down at the city lockup for a while.
Now that I'm in the computer systems of the prison,
Oh God, how?
my rats sneaking in underneath the hat.
How do you control the rats?
Uh for the most part, it's probably a device uh that in this case though I could totally imagine that I could get the rat to be controlled through input commands. That
What?
or I'd say just for the sake of like condensing it into one clear cut object. Um, I basically have a sort of vaguish keypad sewn into the fabric of like one of my shirts.
Fine, I'll allow it. Okay, just because.
I
Fine,
mean,
you
I
have
literally
you have just because the story needs to move along, and I find it hilarious. You got your rats in prison, and you're able to get your
I only have
contraband
one
thinking.
rat. I mean, I can control it, but I have one rat that's there,
Okay, you
which
have your
is
rat in prison.
that's underneath Zack Thunder's hat, and I
Yes,
imagine it's gonna do that thing like the magicians how like they flip the card out of sight. So when they're search, they're like doing like the like if they ever just like, take off the hat or whatever, it's gonna just like keep like sliding around, like hiding from their sight, then sneak
sure,
back under the hat,
sure. Why the hell not? Okay,
and then like the other ones. So I'm waiting to get into prison, or like not
okay.
prison, but the holding cell, wherever they're gonna hold us.
You're in the holding cell unless you did anything to prevent that.
Well, I'm gonna wait to get there.
Okay. So you're in the holding cell.
Perfect. Now I'm going to have the rat sneak into the system. I'm gonna have the hat rat sneak through the rafters,
Rat in the
and
hat.
I want him to get sneak in so he can open up like maybe like loosen a bolt on the outside, like from the inside, so the rats outside can sneak in through the vents. So now I have
Your rats followed you all the way from.
that it's like that classic like hopping on like the back of one bus and then sneak.
Oh God. Okay. Sure.
You can say that like this. I mean, again, this could be very embellished story.
Oh, sure. Which is why I'm not making you necessarily make rolls for some of this because it's just too funny to stop. Um, sure. This is more a test of your creativity. Um, okay, so you're able to get the rat to the computer system.
Perfect.
You have to find like an isolated area because I mean this is the middle of the day. It's not like at 7 in the morning where there's no one there. So
Mm.
yeah, you have to find like an isolated node to plug into.
Well, thank goodness that my rats also brought the box of bees.
What?
Remember the box of bees I
I
told you
remember the
about?
box of bees, but how?
It's simple. They like like how they. It's like one of those things. You see Ratatouille where they have like the group of rats and they were carrying that one guy on their back
How many
for like
rats
check.
are there?
Well, there's like probably close to like there's 19. The 20th one was the one that Biff McFly crushed. So there used to be 20.
Okay, I thought there was like five. All right, sure. So you got 20 rats. How big is this
19 rats.
box? 19, 18 rats actually. How big is this box?
It's like a shoebox. The
Okay,
box of
fine.
bees.
Fine, I can accept them carrying a shoebox. There's gonna be at least one person that sees this and goes, "Oh, I gotta stop. I gotta lay off the synthahol." Uh,
It's like one of those. Yes, everything is going according to plan.
because
Now,
why not?
now that I'm in the police records, all
Well,
I need
first,
to
there's gotta be a
okay,
roll here.
okay,
All right, now, but
yes.
considering that police records are going to be slightly better encrypted than academic records, you're doing the same roll but with a negative 15. So you were
Well,
trying to beat a
yes.
63 before, correct?
And just to be sure, are there cameras
Where you are, no.
in the police computer? I'm trying to actually, yeah. Do they have like a server room that I can just like hack
That's
into?
basically what you're in. Yeah, you're in an isolated node that you plugged into. So you're in the
It,
computer, but you're not like in a very visible area.
so they can't see us. Perfect.
Yep.
I'm gonna hack into the into the criminal mainframe.
All right, so you have got to beat a 48.
Okay. This is all perfectly according to Fishsoon's plan without any issue.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Okay, any problem whatsoever.
Um, you're gonna start hearing an alarm go off.
Hmm.
Um, yeah.
Gonna retreat the rats back into the vent system.
Okay.
It's gonna be very simple.
All
Okay, it's
right.
all coming according to plan.
So that alarm's gonna be going off for about 15 minutes. Then it's gonna
Hmm.
stop. You're sitting in a cell. You have no idea what's happening. Um,
Wow, this is quite the busy day, isn't it? Okay, so how's the like, server room looking right now?
if you send a rat back to look,
It's like peak.
someone will have actually gone in there and looked around and found nothing and left.
Hmm.
So, and they'll have said, "Oh, I hate the M4. Why couldn't we upgrade our computers after all this time?" Done. Fine. They don't pay me enough for this job. And the guy's gonna walk out.
Okay, I'm gonna try one more time.
Okay.
If that doesn't work, I'm gonna have to go to plan B.
Okay.
Eh?
Eh.
Eh?
Yeah.
Plan B it is.
All right, so once again, alarms go off. Almost immediately after the alarm goes off, like door's gonna fly open, and a guy is gonna go, "What the hell's with these rats?" As they're like just escaping into the vent.
Okay. Released, and then just at this point, I'm gonna activate the ultimate thing, which is I'm gonna open the bee box. Of course, these are no ordinary bees.
Of course, they're not. Why would they be?
No,
So where are they being
these are
released from?
bees. These are puppet bees because they're bee corpses. But they're basically they have a serum in them that, when injected into a person, induces a state. You know what's gonna happen.
I actually don't.
Yeah, so it basically induces a state of it's a highly susceptible state where basically it's kind of like not mind control serum, but basically they're highly susceptible to suggestion, but it's also coupled with the uncontrollable urge to break into sporadic singing and dancing. So the bees are going to be released and they're going to start stinging everybody except maybe me and a few and basically we're going to start the musical in order to convince them that all of this was just a big misunderstanding and that Biff was an evil mastermind behind this and I was innocent.
Okay. All right. Bees get released. That's that. Where are you releasing them from?
Basically from the server room where I imagine everyone would start be heading towards for the second alert.
Okay, sure.
The rats are
Um,
going to retreat while the bees are beginning to systematically sting everyone.
so as the rats retreat, the mic's gonna pick up. Not the bees. Uh,
I just can imagine it's like, oh no, oh no, I've been stung. Oh, what's going on? And then another person's like, ow, it's me. That makes it more than me, just you and me. Oh no, we've been stung, and make it 3 because I've been stung as well. And then there's 4, and the numbers begin to swell.
yeah, I'm not singing. That's thank you for
I
doing
know,
that
but I'm
for
just
me.
gonna imagine like
Uh,
everyone's is getting except fish. So it's like,
Something like that. Okay,
don't
so the
you miss?
alarm's gonna start going off again. Um, so you can't in a shoebox. You can only fit like a few hundred bees, maybe.
Well, I mean, I say yeah, but like you can fit like I feel like you could fit like at least 100 bees inside
A
of a
few
shoebox.
hundred, a few hundred,
A
maybe
few
a
hundred, which
thousand.
is and each of them are like like sting one person each. Maybe
Yes.
yeah.
If it's normal bees, then yes.
I mean, they're like they're
Are
puppet
they
bees, so they're more
programmed
like
to
robot.
one bee per person, or are they gonna swarm each person and do multiple at a time?
I mean, they're kind of more like hornet stingers. Rather, they don't like sting once and they're done. They're like they can
Okay.
stab someone and
All right,
they are
that's fine
bees,
then.
though. I used bees because that was the closest dead. Basically, what happened was for context, because we need context where I got
Of
the
course, you
bees.
need context.
So to be fair, I got the rats from Brad. You know, the dead rats came from the other guy who I mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
who I can't remember the name of, but it was the rat guy. The bees came from basically a nest got fumigated outside his room and saw them all like get tossed into a trash bin. So I was like, oh, I can use those. That was a flat when they had to get rid of a bee nest. So moving forward a good distance, we reach this point. So now everyone's being stung in order to induce a state of basically susceptible sporadic dance.
Okay, so yeah, the bees are basically gonna make it through the entire building. They're gonna sting everyone except for you.
Perfect.
So you're sitting in a cell with a singing and dancing Biff McFly and Zach Thunder. There is sitting outside the I guess like security or the guy that's just watching the cells, the lockups. He's singing and dancing.
So Fish Sim
He
is
actually
basically.
breaks out in Jailhouse in Jailhouse Rock. Uh,
I don't, dude. Yeah, perfect. It's
Actually, all three of them start singing Jailhouse Rock. They're like doing it.
So basically, Fish Sing is gonna say, "So you have to see, this was a misunderstanding. Biff was threatening me. I needed to say this, or else he would threat it. I'm basically say like singing about how Biff Wood is basically evil mastermind behind the whole plot. If I didn't say something, he would have hurt me, since I was very close in proximity to him. So you should arrest him, but not me, and let me and Zach Thunder go. I didn't have a choice, you know."
The guard's gonna say, in singing, that you make a very convincing argument, and he just lets you out.
It's like,
just,
and then it's just gonna. I'm just going to
just the two
imagine
of
it.
you, though. He leaves. He
Oh
leaves
yeah, yeah,
Biff locked in
yeah.
there.
Biff needs to stay there. And I just like to imagine it's like the moral of the story: don't give in to a bully. Make sure you stand up for what's right and what's morally good. For the Federation seeks only the just and stuff, blah blah. And then basically just like get out of there, like. I just kind of just leave
Well, no,
the
you're no,
building
you
because
you're gonna make it to the. Well, there's gonna be multiple people try to stop you, but you're
yeah.
able to sing your way out of each of it.
And it's just like,
Uh,
halt!
you're gonna
Who
get to the.
goes there? Are
You're
you
gonna get to the
trying to
lobby. You're gonna get to the lobby. There's the dean and like a few of his attaches. Also, they're doing like a they're doing the river dance.
dude? Hi, Dean. Snapping my fingers unenthusiastically to like keep up with the bit that I'm also affected.
He's gonna say, "What are you doing out?"
I told them the story that needed to be told about how Biff is kind of a jerk, and they let me go free. Biff brought some bees, and I think he tried to convince them to let him go and keep us there. But I told them the truth, so now we're free. So can you see, Dean, this moral question of who the cadaver needed to go to was a misunderstanding. Biff was the bad guy all along. That's why I'm singing this song. Biff was the bad guy all along.
Okay, I gotta make a roll in here. Just there's gotta be a roll somewhere. Okay. Let's see. How do I want to do
Luck?
this? No. Um, this one is gonna be charisma and streetwise with a plus 15 for mind
Yes.
control.
Yes. My more unethical days.
Yes, so that
Slash more. I like, and I have an excuse to be a bit more sloppy with my planning because, yeah, high school or I mean college, early days, less experienced with criminal activity. Okay, so
58.
50 total or
You're rolling against a
oh
58.
yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. I was I was too focused on typing it in, thinking about the song. Okay, that didn't work.
It didn't work. He's gonna say, "That's all well and good, but you still changed his grades."
Let's see. Okay, now I'm just give me. I need a moment to think.
It's a different kind of battle of the bands. Why does all your stuff turn into music?
I didn't think that far ahead. I mean,
God.
I was kind of going for a High School Musical thing, and also the movie I was thinking about, a high school movie about with singing that we were talking about before, Pitch Perfect. That's the one I was thinking about. It was Pitch Perfect. College movies have sporadic singing moments. You know, every good college movie needs one. A college episode needs one too.
Usually the
Uh,
high school episodes do, but sure.
well, I mean, Pitch Perfect was college. Okay. I'm going to, well, I tried to appeal to him because of I tried to appeal to the fact that hmm, Biff was actually the person who threatened me. I only changed grades because he threatened me,
Mm-hmm.
and that didn't work. So, huh. I mean, I feel like I guess I could try and threaten him.
Oh
I
boy.
did have that entire hard drive. I know what I can do. I know, yes. So
Oh Jesus. Okay, I'm wrapping myself up for this one. This is gonna be a shit show. All right, proceed.
so I in obviously continuing uncontrolled. I'm gonna tell him that there's another thing that Biff uh he also asked for all of the records from the expelled students. And there's a flash drive that he had me hide, or he took, that I could probably I attached a tracker to that I could probably find. Um, and it's like I'll bring it back and I'll make sure I'll hunt it down for him if he is willing to reconsider reinstating me into, and I'll use all my efforts to find the you know data that was stolen and return it,
All right, give me
even though I
another.
did it. But
The same roll. I think it was a 58. Give me another one of those.
58, come on. Yes!
Oh,
Yes!
just. He's going to
He's
say.
like really squinting, but the
He's
jazzy
really
music
squinting. Yes. He's gonna say, I will give you a chance, but if you fail, you'll be locked up until you die.
that's fine with I. I'm
Okay.
gonna start. I'm just gonna like doing I'm just gonna do like the finger snapping out while Zach Thunder's behind me. And he's like doing a
Just,
sick air guitar, and then
just.
I just kind of stop and I like smack Zach on the shoulder. It's like you didn't get stung either. Oh, I did. But he was very convinced he was. It's like, oh, Zach Thunder wasn't controlled after all. No, you weren't. I think the bees just didn't want to sting you, which was they actually thought you were already stung, which is interesting. Anyways, so yeah, you go back. You're good. Well, I guess you're in this too with me now. So if you tell anybody about this, you'll not only be expelled, but I promise you, I will think of something. I will think of revenge against you. And usually, just the thought seems to get this stuff to happen. So I don't think I need to make any more statements after that.
God.
And so I'm gonna just have like the rat, like that was. I'm just gonna basically go off, and I'm gonna get the good old time skip as me and Zach like walk out of like the police sync as everyone starts climbing up to the roof and doing like a synchronized like hand dance or something. And like the bees just kind of finally just slowly just venting off into different areas. I'm gonna like I imagine somewhere in the cell, like Biff just found a harmonica and's like, don't know what I did. Okay, and so yeah, I'm gonna retrieve. I'm going to go retrieve the the drive with all the expelled students on it to return to the dean,
Okay.
which I basically just had in my drawer. But I would have gotten it without anybody or most people not noticing that I just walked into my room to
Well,
get it.
by the time that you have that, the dean will have already returned to his
And it does
office.
wear off after a few hours.
Yeah.
the,
Yeah.
the sporadic dancing.
Yeah, so by the time you get to there, he's gonna be in his office and he's gonna like his hand will start like trying to keep time. He'll just go or he'll start talking. He's like, all right, Fish, did you bring the flash drive? God damn it.
Indeed, I did. I place it on the counter, slide it. I believe me and Zack Thunder have done our job.
Mm, Please hold. I have to verify this to make sure I'm not being swindled. Damn bees. Okay. I'm gonna plug it in, look at it, and be like, yeah, that is that's jeez. That's the list of everyone that's been expelled from Starfield Academy for the last 150 years. That's interesting. Okay. All right. Did he tell you why he wanted this?
I didn't really ask questions after he started threatening me, so not really. Can't really work on any projects with broken fingers now, can we?
Yeah, there's truth to that statement. So, all right, boys, you put me in a difficult position. Even if I believe that Cadet McFly coerced you into this, you're still guilty. You, Cadet Thaddeus, of concealing a literal dead body in your room, and you, um, Soong, of using rats to hack into our computer system and steal information and change um, grades. So, for whatever the reasons, the fact has not changed on both of those. So, I'm going to need a very good reason to overlook both of those and have Cadet McFly take the fall on all of this.
Well, think about it. Think about all the skills you would be bringing to the Federation. Would you rather have someone with these skill sets working with you, or one of them working against you? I'm just saying. Think about it. Isn't there like maybe I don't know a group out there with a particular set of skills designated for more secretive operations? I feel like it fit in right well there.
He is going to squint at you really hard, saying, I'm not sure what you're insinuating, but I'm not sure I want to know what you're insinuating because it smells a lot like treason.
No, 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 a Black Ops division working for the Federation or something like that.
Oh, I don't. Why would that even come up?
But I'm just saying these skills could be very. Imagine this. Imagine what we could do, the good we could do with the Federation, with rats and potentially cybernetically enhanced humans. And he kind of mumbles at us. And rats.
Okay, you're gonna have to give me something other than that.
Um. Uh. Well, I mean, I just kind of like start going through my bag. Like I look at like the tweezers. I look at like all the random implements. Like I mean, I don't really, I don't really got much going for me. And like a book slips out, hits the ground. It's like, oh, well, there's that, I guess. But you probably wouldn't be very interested in that. It's quite boring stuff, really.
What's the book?
Oh, I pick it up. Well, sometimes I get bored and I start trying to do research on prosthetics and other forms of transplant surgery that could probably save people's lives, but it doesn't seem very interesting. I don't think anyone really want to look at it. I mean, you can go ahead if you want, but it seems pretty boring to me.
He's
I don't
gonna
really feel like I want to be a transplant surgeon anyways, or prosthetics. It feels like, not it's not really my calling. But yeah,
he's gonna squint even harder and go, "Give me that."
might as well, I guess.
He's gonna look through it and go, "Huh. All
What's with
right,
that face?
Cadet.
And why don't I like it?
From what little I know about this field, I'm looking at stuff that's probably a good generation or two beyond what we already have."
Huh? I mean, it's just scribbles I barely work on the side.
All right, fine. This can be ignored because you are
A genius.
Yes, and yeah, your talents, I would much rather have Starfleet have them than God only knows who. Fine, fine,
Yes,
fine. What? You win. You got you win. Just
victory for soon.
it's gonna pull this path. Then I guess I'm just gonna ignore these about 85 complaints about your ethics or lack thereof. Fine, okay. Um,
Hmm. Well, I'm happy. It's like well, everything's resolved. Perfect.
So you're fine. He's gonna look over at Zack Thunder. Now what should I do with you?
Uh, I can do a sick. Uh, I can. Me and my band will host a private party for your daughter for her birthday. Uh,
Hmm.
I'll bring free punch too.
Can you do Taylor Swift songs?
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't?
Fine. Well, I hope you're both happy. You have completely destroyed the career of a moderately promising young security officer cadet. So just yeah, you'll have to live with that the rest of your days. But well, that's not your problem anymore. Just remember, for the love of all that is holy, don't do anything like this again. I can't
It's like
extend this to you twice.
we did it, Zach. Oh yeah! Jump mid high five.
Can you
Freeze
wait
frame.
until you're
Don't
not in my
you
office for this bullshit?
copyright me?
Okay, just get out. Get out. Get out. I don't want to look at
Oh,
you.
oh,
I don't want to think about you. Just get out of
fine.
my office.
They walk out. It's like, yeah, they leave. Don't you copyright me?
All right, so we're
They
gonna
just
cut
kind of
back.
awkwardly go.
We're gonna cut back to the present, and the throne is just
Oh
kind
wait,
of
1 second. But like, there's I want to look at after
okay.
credits
Okay.
fades to
Fine.
black.
Fine. Fine. Fine.
This is
Fine.
the last thing. Fish Soong grabs a little thing of cheese and a flour, and he goes outside. He goes outside and he kind of drives off to like a graveyard, and he puts down the cheese and flour next to a little tombstone that says Prototype 1, Remy. It's like you were avenged, Remy. You were avenged. Don't copyright me. And
All
that's
right,
it.
and so the effect comes back up, and it comes back up to a. You've never seen Dottrone look anything other than cool and collected, except for even when he was almost dying. He's just kind of looking at you like, how much of that story actually happened that way?
Eh, some people would say it was all just kind of a made up story. I don't tend to go against the idea, so I'll leave it up for you to decide.
How delightfully cryptic of you, Doctor.
Gonna wait till he walks out.
Well, so the
Oh
appointment
yeah.
ends. He's gonna say, "Well, till next time, my good friend. I bid you and your wonderful storytelling a good day."
Hmm. And you as well. Till our next appointment.
So the Trone leaves. So it's just you and a few of the orderlies in the office.
I'm just gonna I'm gonna start typing on my computer, and I'm gonna stop for a moment of typing. Pull open my drawer on the side and pull out a little flash drive that looks very similar to the one that I quote unquote gave to the dean.
Hmm.
Don't you copyright me?
God.
And he just kind of looks towards the screen, a small glint in his eye, and smiles.
Oh God. Was I don't know what to think about that story.
It was definitely
Um,
less structured than the Battle of the Bands.
it really was. It really was.
I had fun though.
I I did too. Just, I feel like there was less of a payoff, but sure.
What do you mean?
I just
I mean,
gave you that
hey,
ending, man.
I used the cadaver in the first half, and I at least it was a cohesive story.
I mean, fairly. The logical progression was bullshit unless you think of this as a story from an extremely unreliable narrator.
Yeah,
like, of course the dean let you off calling you a genius and saying
yeah,
we
I
needed
know,
you.
I know. It's just like the trope. It's such a trope,
Just bees?
but it kind of lines up with canon too. So it's like you don't know how much is true and how much is fake, and
Exactly.
it's not completely made up because the hard drive's there. So you
Oh,
gotta wonder. The question is, knowing soon, which parts of it were fake and which parts of it were real.
that's exactly it. I mean, I could decide, but I'm not going to. I'm
I
going to
mean, you
leave
could,
that.
but I
I'm going to leave that for everyone's interpretation. Too funny.
if we if we get Tim ever to watch that
Oh
the last session, he'd
God.
be, what is this? Is complete nonsense.
Yes.
But what's the canon?
What is?
What's the canon? I just imagine like just for like extra like jokes. If this was like there's a little animation of it, like you just see like Crystal as a janitor randomly sweeping up in the background at random intervals.
Oh God, I should have done that. I should have had Crystal as like just janitor. That would have been like the honestly not even the lowest part of his career. The lowest part is every time he has to deal with fish.
I just imagine like that one liner goes off. He's like, man, I hate being a janitor, but at least I don't have to deal with him every day.
Yes. Or the line, I don't get paid enough for this.
Yeah. Just like
Yes.
the dean was like very like having similar mannerisms to Crystal now. The same like sigh of pain.
Oh Lord. Uh. Huh.
Yeah, so I'm spent, but I mean, now this opens up the question of will I ever be able to make rat minions again,
Well, there's
or if
no
it ever
rats on
happened
the
in the first
ship.
place.
There's no
Yeah,
rats on the
there's
ship.
I can 3D print them.
No, you cannot replicate a living creature. It doesn't
No,
work.
it's a dead rat, and then I bring it to life with technology.
Oh jeez.
That's what I did. That's why they're rat puppets. They're machines that are like cross fused with rat bodies in order to give them a more stealthy frame and more organic way of functioning.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh.
So the question is, did this is the real question. Did it go past your expectation of sanity? Yes or no?
Um. Honestly, it's about par for the course.
what's your closing thoughts on this little what will we call this?
Um.
The Tales of Soon?
The Soong Files, Episode
Soon.
1. Rats.
Rats, rats and bees. Rats, bees, and Biff.
Rats. Rats, bees, and dead bodies.
uh
Oh, God.
I like
So when we start off with you dragging a corpse across the
yeah.
campus, which
Nothing's really
never should have
changed though,
worked.
has it?
Never should have worked, but I just kind of
I
let it.
passed the roll. It was at night, you know?
Well, I didn't even give you a roll for that, did I?
And I thought you did. Yeah, no. You gave me a roll for moving the body from one area to the other, didn't you? And so
From moving
was it
from
convincing?
the one room to the next, not for getting it in the room in the first place. Right.
You're right. That's
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
Because there's, although I've been watching enough Star Trek recently, I realize how many just glaring plot holes there are. Like they should have never been able to do that. Like they get across the entire ship, like 10 decks in like 2 minutes, or just this stuff. Like how many things happen for the convenience of plot, things that should not logically make sense. They're just hoping either A, people don't think about it and notice it, or B, if they do, they'll realize, okay, they had to do that for plot reasons. So I'm getting kind of fine. That shouldn't have worked, but I'm not going to call every illogical thing because there's honestly been some stuff you guys have gotten away with that I did not call you on because it just made for a good story.
Mm.
So, and there's actually been some things that I've gotten away with that I don't think you guys realize as far as stuff that was inconsistent. I'm after the fact like, oh no, I contradicted myself. Oh well, no one caught me. It's fine.
If it ever does happen and ever did catch it, I would probably just assume, oh well, I misunderstood it because the DM understands. So you
No,
usually
do
you have
not
a bit of
assume
a
that with
safety
me.
net.
Please do not assume that with me. I'm very capable of overlooking things. It happens all the time. People frequently remind me of things.
I mean,
Uh,
that's humans. We're not
yes,
perfect machines.
especially when I
Yet.
don't script this very well or much at all.
You
Especially,
can blame this one on me if you get
oh,
questions about it.
this was absolutely intentionally this way. I feel like you did more of the work than I did as far as planning things.
The one thing I try to keep consistent is I only ever used most of the time stuff that I previously set up in the previous scene.
This is
If you
true. You
notice,
didn't.
everything I brought up later was something that was basically previously vaguely
Yes, you
established.
mentioned the bees and the rats in the closet. Yes.
The bees and rats in the closet, and then the cadaver, and then the hard drive, which I used to solve the problem, sort of, and then the book of notes was kind of insinuating like basically a lot of the stuff I also did was like it's almost like assume origin story, but like not quite origin story as much as it was just like, see, these are things he would do or would go to do that it bleeds in from the
Yes.
past.
God. Oh, you're not supposed to be able to do a tabletop campaign with one player. Ha! Screw that. We can do
Yes.
anything we want to do. Uh,
It's like you think I can just add more of me by it's like, we got Zach
he
Thunder,
honestly
we
did play two
got
characters.
uh you know Biff's gonna come along one day. Maybe Biff will make Biff McFly will make a return.
I mean, he's definitely still in the prime in our main universe, and I'm very certain that once
It's like a warlord.
oh god, that I doubt we'll get to that point. Considering the number of players we're down to, I I'm hoping we even get to finish this storyline. I would be really sad if we didn't, but definitely at the end of the um, whatever you want to call the current story, that will be the end of Star Trek for this series. So, but yeah, we'll hopefully get there. No idea
Next
how much longer
session,
it'll take, but we'll see.
yeah, I will say the next session, if Tim's back, I am going to consistently quote this episode. So if he doesn't watch it, he's gonna be very confused. It was like, who's Biff McFly? It's like, what do you mean, Marty? It's like, no, Biff McFly. You don't know Biff McFly, my old rival from college. He's just like,
Yes,
what? You're just making stuff up. No, it's canon.
it honestly is at this point.
Yes. Remember what it's like just learning like going over to Zack Thunder's let's use the B tactic again. The what?
The tactic, which is funny because now we've built in a backstory between the two of you that we've not touched a single time
Well,
before in the
we
entire
didn't we
game.
okay, here's the thing. We didn't establish we didn't talk about it previously, but we did establish that Zack Thunder was before he really even like before like he came into the campaign was getting therapy from Fish Soon. That was like supposedly what like the foundation of it was. Like that was kind of like a quote unquote pre-canon event. So this could be a continuation. Like they could have known each other for a very long time. They just did. He just didn't consider. Fish just didn't really consider Zack Thunder a friend.
Oh, that's
Background
entirely possible.
background canon, of which is probably going to be absolutely not used 90% of it.
Oh, I'm pretty sure, yeah. So, oh God. Well,
I think I feel like there was an irrefutable moment of yeah, some of this has to be non-canon when when I introduced the dance inducing bees, But at the
I
same time, I feel like that's just realistic enough for the craziness we've done that it might be possible. It could be canon. It could be. I'm not saying it is, but I'm not saying it isn't either.
well, the notion that you would have not had serious repercussions for having helped someone change their grades and hide a body, yeah, that's.
Well, they probably eventually came to the conclusion that it was a cadaver that was from the school. So it would just been theft.
But even the changing the grades part, that alone is enough of a big issue. So, yeah, but he's a genius. We'll let him get away with it. Yes,
I liked it. One of the canon I was trying to like slide in there was how he got like recruited by like the Black Ops organization,
yes, yes.
Dark Water. So I
I
like think
know.
maybe that was why he didn't get expelled. Like a phone call would come in, like, bring bring. It's like
No, 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 no. Actually, because we haven't even established where that happened in the timeline before or after Academy.
it
I
could
don't
have been here.
remember. What?
I it could have been. Yeah, well, I mean, we established that he did join and then got kicked out.
I guess that would have been before the Academy.
I think it was. I think
don't
it was.
have,
Yeah.
I'm not totally up on my Fish Soong lore, apparently.
What, you didn't get the 5 paragraph as I sent you
Oh, I
in
got it, but
completely
it's,
broken English that needs to be deciphered by a Rosetta Stone?
yes, I can confirm, for all of these 0 viewers that are watching right now, it was definitely in broken English.
Yes. But the broken English is the best English. It was phonetic.
It
And
was
honestly,
something.
phonetic is easier to sound out than real English sometimes.
I guess. I guess.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Oh, God. Okay. Well, it's past our supposed stopping time. Unfortunately, I'm not able to type in chat the link because for some reason I'm not logged in to chat. So I can tell you all about Extra Life, and I'm going to do it, but I can't give you anything because apparently the
Hmm.
world hates me. So I'm going to give
I
you the
don't think I've ever
brief
posted
rundown
the
on
link
X.
before.
What was that?
I don't think I've ever posted the link before, so I'm not sure how do they.
Yeah, you got to go on to Twitch where it's streaming. Whatever, man. At
Uh,
this point, there's nothing we can do about it. So yeah, so
they,
uh, eh,
I was saying that they can go to the actual site though,
yes.
search the team.
So let me tell you all about Extra Life. So what we do here at Rabbit Haberdashery is, of course, we have a hell of a lot of fun making up completely bullshit stories that may or may not have anything to do with reality. But the purpose behind it is we help support a program called Extra Life, which supports Children's Miracle Network. So that helps provide funding to give medical supplies, fun stuff, just all the things that kids in hospitals really need. Because I can't imagine what it's like to be a kid in the hospital. It's got to be absolutely horrible. So that's why we're here. We're doing all this in support of that. In October, no, sorry, November, we're going to have our normal annual 24-hour gaming marathon. Tim will be running at that time. That's going to be fun. It's going to be based on D&D 3.5. I want to say it's called The Hungry Dark.
I
Considering I'm
think that
not,
is it.
yeah, that sounds right. And an incentive on that one is apparently your donations are going to help you influence how the story goes. So if you want to see the whole party die horribly, shell it out.
If you
It's all
wish
for the
for the,
kids, man.
yeah, if you wish for me to not be in the campaign to ruin it this time, you can kill me off fast.
For $1,000 donation, I go to Coinless's house and kill him.
Oh no, that's a joke. Just clear, that's a joke. I hope. I mean, it is, but
Okay, for $1 million though, I'm sorry, you will die.
you don't know where I live
I'll find
yet, at least.
out. Yes,
Suddenly, one day I see a rat crawl into my room with a camera on it, a USB port. Like, oh no, it's happening!
it's happening. Oh God. All right, well
It's
that went off
finally
the
caught up with.
rails.
Yes.
So anyhow,
Was
we've
it
got
ever on the rails to begin with,
no.
though?
Well, it was we were kind of lying between the rails, and now we've just fallen off a cliff. So, but yeah, we're gonna have players supporting hospitals all over Massachusetts, New York, Virginia, I think as well. I believe if Matt participates. So we lots of different hospitals, lots of different places that we're helping. So I know I'm absolutely not giving a great spiel, but I'm tired, man. I'm so focused on a different charitable organization that I'm all my charitable energy is gone. So I just you can look up more about Extra Life and what they're all about. Also look up Rabbit Haberdashery and what we do for that. That's about the best I can do without being able to actually post a link in chat. So, anyhow, I think that's about all I've got. There's going to be a nice point for you for this one for your trip into the potentially fake past. So,
Wait,
congratulations.
can I, because it was a goofy day, can I make a request? Can I swap out that 1 point for a second Twinkie?
Sure, this one would be
Yes.
replicated.
Yes. Oh, that's fine. Yeah, I'll take the Twinkie. I
Yeah.
literally, no, I'll take the point, but I'm not gonna use it because I'm just gonna add it to. What am I at? How many points have I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44 points.
That's almost a year's worth of games.
Yes, and it's a it's a nest egg in case, what if I need to spend him one day?
Well, that's the thing. You can't spend them all at once like that.
I mean, obviously, why would I want to spend? But I can spend one,
You're God.
and I want to save it in case I screw up, and then I
You're,
need to spend 42 more to fix it.
you're like that guy that plays an RPG that hoards all the best items and never uses them.
I am that guy. I
Yeah,
am that guy.
yeah,
I'm not maybe. I definitely
yeah.
am.
I can tell. All right, we have gone. We've dragged this on long enough. Fun time. Thanks. That's. I needed this. But yeah, hopefully next week we get back to the main story. Then again, if we don't, we could have the Fish Soon Chronicles Part 2. The doctor comes back. I don't
Just it's gonna be the time in Blackwater or something.
something like Dark Water.
Darkwater,
Well,
yes.
I should keep a story in my back pocket just in case. So, okie doke. I think that's a good
Alrighty
place
then.
for it all. So, I'll bid all of you back home a good evening. See you later and live long and prosper.
Live long and prosper.